Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about the first decan of Scorpio, which is 0 to 9.59 degrees. 5-9 represents the minutes of arc. Technically, the second degree does begin at 10 degrees. The second decan of Scorpio begins at 10 degrees. You're getting basically a double dose of Scorpio energy. The ruler is Mars and Pluto. Then you have the sub-ruler being Mars and Pluto as well. Very emphasized Scorpio energy characteristics. The appearance generally could be of middle height, middle stature, features very pliable, and there can be very looking at this attractive as well. And having a double dose of Scorpio, essentially you're looking at a person that can be very intense, willful, relentless, resourceful, passionate, resilient, but yet can also be very obsessive, fixated, even manipulative and jealous. This would be the most aggressive and assertive of the Scorpio decans, because you have the double dose of the Mars energy. Again, the ruler is Mars and Pluto, but you have the sub-ruler being of Mars and Pluto as well. And this is a thing where you can be a person can be very intensely and deeply emotional. It can be extremely incisive, and I'd say this could also be the most critical of the the Scorpio decans. And the thing about this is, when you look at this as well, I mean, this Scorpio decan is one that might have the most loyalty, the most passion. You're talking about very fixed energy, because Scorpio, of course, is a fixed sign, and you have the the decan being in Scorpio as well. And keep in mind, 8 and 9 degrees are critical degrees of this decan, so that can give more emphasis on and more significance. The energy can be more pronounced. Now, the thing about this is that the Scorpio decan, this is one again that could be very passionate, loyal, and the loyalty again can be very exorbitant. There might be a tremendous passion and desire to solve mysteries. There may be a very strong interest, shows that are about horror, the supernatural, the occult, which includes astrology, mystery, murders, and murder mysteries. And this one could have the most drive and motivation of the Scorpio decans. This could be a person where the energy level can be very high, because again, you do have the double dose of Mars in this, because Mars is one of the rulers and one of the sub-rulers as well, naturally. And this person, this could be, looking at this, the resiliency may be unmatched and unparalleled with this decan of Scorpio. The sex urge can be very exorbitant and high. The person may work relentlessly to attain their ambitions. And this could also be, as far as the very strong and intense desire for intimate connections. This person may, disdain anything, that is, superficial. Naturally, you gotta, look for contraindicators, modifying influences in the horoscope, as that could impact this delineation to some degree. If somebody has, say their sun in Scorpio in this first decan, let's say they have, a Sagittarius or Gemini ascendant as an example, they may not be so much into taking, relationships, quite, as seriously, because Gemini rising can be superficial. They may take things, lightly, and the thing is, you have to factor in everything, in the chart. As I've stated in my earlier videos, it's important, to look, at the chart as a whole, and not, isolate, any proponent and make astrological analysis on it, because we're the sum of all the parts in the chart and not just one. But anyway, this person also, can be one which, the actions, are matters. This could be very person quick in actions that are connected with power and control. And the thing is, this person can also may have the best ability of all the Scorpio Deacons to see through subterfuge and superficiality, to see, through facades of others. This could be a person that is very strongly about character composition of people and being able to see, again, through the phoniness, through the facades, and can have very good investigative prowess and ability. When you look at this, it's a person, having this can also be very secretive, not reveal too much about him or her. It's a very, Scorpio being a feminine sign, it by itself is very private, but Scorpio can be extremely secretive and, often like, have their private life, and may have be reluctant to let a lot of people into it. And again, it is important, to look at contraindicators in the chart. If somebody has, again, like the Scorpio, say if they have their Scorpio sun in this deacon, but let's say they have, a more extroverted and gregarious ascendant like Leo, they're going to come across that way, more outwardly, more extroverted, engaging, and gregarious than the typical Scorpio sun person. Or somebody, let's say, that has Jupiter conjunct Venus, which of course can naturally enlarge relationships, and the person may have more, more people in their lives than the typical Scorpio sun. Or let's say they have a preponderance of planets on the top half of the chart, and they would likely be more, extroverted and gregarious than the typical Scorpio sun person. So it's really important to look at, again, looking at everything in the chart, as a whole, when you're trying to do, an analysis, of a person, astrologically speaking. And the thing about, this too is, and also, again, when I'm talking about like the height of the, the stature and the height of the person, I was explaining earlier, that this person generally can be, about, average height, but that's on average, and say, somebody that has, the Scorpio Decan, say, it's in their, again, as an example, in their sun, they may have, say if, Gemini or Aquarius is rising as an example, they might be, taller in stature, than the, the typical, Scorpio first decan person. So it is, again, very important to look at, all the, elements, in the chart. It's like, also too, Scorpio is known, it could be known to harbor grievances and hold, grudges to some degree. But, again, you got to look at the chart, as a whole. Somebody, that has this, Scorpio Decan, say they have it in their sun or moon, but they have, like a Leo ascendant or, Sagittarius ascendant, they may be able to, throw off, the feelings, of, being grudge holding, or any feelings of revenge, to some degree, more so than the typical Scorpio sun or moon person, because you have to, again, look at all the elements in the chart when you're, making an astrological analysis on a person. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard, stay well.